Welcome to Amy Kardashian and the Expert Show, where the experts share their knowledge, wisdom, and powerful insights to help you transform your business and personal life. In this show, we cover business skills, finance, self development, health and beauty, inspirational, and much more. On this show, I have an amazing guest from England, and she is going to talk to us about how to identify grooming behaviors and prevent child sexual abuse. But before I bring my guest, I want to take a moment to talk about last week's tragedy in Las Vegas. My prayers and heart and sympathy goes to all of the families, and this horrible situation happened in Vegas. I just encourage you to keep them in your prayers and in your thoughts, and continue connecting with the community. Las Vegas community, it's amazing. Everyone is stepping up and helping out with this and unbelievable tragedy that happened. And I just wanted to take a moment to say I am so sorry for the family and everyone who was affected by this situation and tragedy. So now I'm going to bring my guest in. Her name is Marilyn House, right? Is that correct, Marilyn?
Yes.
Okay, well, welcome to the show. Welcome to Amy Kardashian Show. And I'm excited to talk to you about this, because this subject, not everyone really able to even hear about it, not alone to learn about it, because we don't want to face it. We don't want to really know about it much, because when we know about it, we take responsibility for it. And many of us, we don't know what to do or how to even recognize the situation in order to help children that they're going through any sexual abuse. So I am so excited to have you, and looking forward to learn some insights and powerful insights from you. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's very late at night in England at the moment. But before I start, can I just send our sincere condolences from England? We were in a terrible state of shock to experience and to watch what was happening in Las Vegas. So our heartfelt sympathies go to you all.
Thank you.
Having said that, moving on to my story, I learnt about this problem. Unfortunately, the police turned on my doorstep one day. I had been the teacher, deputy head teacher at a primary school, and my best friend of 17 years, and he'd been my boss for 10 years. It turned out he was a paedophile, and the police arrived at my door one day and told me that they thought my boys, I have 4 children, 3 boys and a girl, that my 3 boys had been sexually groomed and abused.
Wow.
Well, that was a terrible shock, awful shock.
Wow.
And I didn't understand, even as a teacher, I'd had all the training on safeguarding and what to do and what not to do. And I thought, well, I don't understand what this grooming thing is. So the police explained about this ability to worm their way into you, into your life, and slide alongside you, waiting for a moment of opportunity, like a snake. And it really is quite clever the way they do it. I was absolutely shocked. I was very ill for 2 years. And then I built up a program which we've been delivering for 14 years now across the UK and Europe on the whole timeline of how do you become an abuser? What happens? Can you identify it when they're quite young? At what time, at what age would you see signs? And what signs would you see? And how can you correct that? How does this grooming work? The impact of a child that's been abused? What are the behaviors? What's the mental health implication? Right to the other end when you can thrive. And it's quite something to experience. I actually do go into prisons and speak to these people. They will write to me and they'll say, oh, can we talk to you? So I go in, and quite honestly, it's quite interesting from my aspect, because I want to know that our training is on point, that it's accurate. There's no point sort of training something that might be 5 years out of date. And it's quite interesting that offline, the way they groom, even if a prisoner may be 25 years old or 45 years old, offline, the enemy in the room, which may be your living room or your home, it's the same. They go through the same 4 set procedures. What changes online is the trends that they use and how they operate when they're trying to target certain children, and the disguises that they use so the children will get reeled in. But what these people say is they're very proud of the fact that they fish for children. These are their words. We fish for children who take the bait.
Wow.
And it's easy because parents don't want to understand grooming, and they're naive, and they just don't want to face it. People don't want to face it. And so it makes our job very easy to kick in the front door and march into the house. It's very easy. They say that, and it's true, we recognize our next victim by the micro movements in their behavior. We smell vulnerability like French perfume. So that's what they're looking for. These people are expert people watchers, and to every single little nuance. And they say to me, well, you would recognize it now because you know what you're doing, you know what you're talking about, which is true.
Because you've been through it. But absolutely. So
I watched it for 17 years.
Right. So I'm gonna go on a very, very short commercial, and then we're gonna come back. Then you're gonna share with us some insights how to recognize, how to prevent it from happening to you in your life. So we'll be right back.
Are you frustrated and wasting time searching for high-quality education and entertainment and not finding it? Stop wasting your time. We've got your solution. Our 3 dynamic and unique online TV shows provide you with high-quality and easy-to-find content. Everything from business skills and self-development to book and movie reviews and everything in between. At akexpertstv.com, you'll find high-quality experts in their field in one place at no cost to you. Visit www.akexpertstv.com today.
Welcome back to Amy Kardashian and the Expert Show. This is a really, really good show today. It's unfortunate it's not really good show, but it's a good show in a way that there is a lot of education we need to hear. And I can't even imagine, Marilyn, what happened to you when you heard about 3 of your children have been, going through this sexual abuse or whatever you want to call it. So I can't even imagine that. So this is
terrible.
very important to prevent it.
It's a total violation of your life. It's like an earthquake coming through your home. It's just dreadful. It shatters everything you know. When I looked back, I realized that the behaviors that these people, they're exaggerated behaviors right in your face, and it's in plain sight. So you are looking at the people that have exaggerated attention, maybe for one particular child. Is it always the same sort of colouring? Are they always fair-haired girls? Are they always dark-haired boys? Are they vulnerable children? Are the parents vulnerable? And they will try and divide and rule. There'll be a lot of lap sitting taking place, an awful lot of lap sitting. And I have a teddy here, which this is my child. I use him as a baby. But if you were a man, you wouldn't put a child on your lap with the spine against you, so that the child is sitting right like this, right on your fly zip. But these people will. It's those sort of behaviours in plain sight. A lot of exaggerated tickling games, an exaggerated need to get that child on their own. I will be your best friend. Nobody will have a friend like you. I'll always be there, always supporting, waiting. But The thing is, the people that are not involved in that grooming business may fail and should feel, will feel strange inside, that quirky instinct. Why does the bird fly away from the cat? The instinct kicks in.
We just
right.
know it, yeah.
Exactly. And so the bird flies away, but we don't do that. We get that, that's a funny feeling. What's that
They
all
get
about?
more scared and more stuck inside
Yes.
because they feel embarrassed, right, to even
That's
talk
right.
about it.
That's right. And rather than put the distance, thinking, oh, actually, this person's making me feel, I've got spiders crawling over me, this is making me feel really weird. Instead of doing what a bird does, which is fly away, we sit there and we logic it. Oh, it can't be. It's dad's best friend. It can't be. It's the head teacher. It can't be. It's the priest. I don't even know what it is I'm saying here, but I just know I feel weird. And that quirky instinct in your stomach, your tummy, your stomach, your solar plexus is your second brain. And the moment it hits it, it's sending a message up to here. And that message is danger, beware. But then
So now we're talking about the child, how they feel, but how the parents they supposed to what they supposed to notice about what's happening to their kids.
You will get the
What
change
is
of
the
behavior.
sign of that?
You'll get the negative behavior. I know with my own boys, when one of them in particular had more abuse than another, and his whole behavior had changed. He started not wanting to go to school. He developed a nervous tic. So if I take my glasses off, his eye would drop down like this when he was watching television. He would get stomach migraine. He started grinding his teeth. He was very nervous. On his school jumper, he'd start picking away at the cuff, and I'd have to replace it every 6 weeks. He started getting psoriasis, that skin condition. He started getting asthma. His whole grades in school dropped. He had been a really lovely, quiet, polite child. He'd become aggressive. He started to swear. He was hitting
So there is a lot of signs you have to look for, but it's not necessarily only a child abuse is happening. Could be other. It's not only sexual abuse. Could be different kind of abuse as well.
Exactly.
Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
we what we're gonna do? We're gonna educate everyone when we come back to part 2 of this, on how to recognize the difference between sexual abuse and mental abuse. Could be any kind of abuse that are happening to your child. And in my personal opinion, when this happened to your child, it's worse than happening to yourself, because
awful.
we are, as parents, supposed to protect our kids.
It's
And
awful. I think the
it's
last
supposed to
thing.
yes,
the-
and then when that
the guilt,
happened,
the guilt is awful.
That's
the guilt
right.
is dreadful.
so
Dreadful.
I'm going to put you on the next part 2, and we are going to dig deep into how to recognize your children, what they're going through, and what do we need to do about it. So we will be right back. I didn't focus on my weaknesses. I focused on my strength, and I was able not only to lead myself, I was able to lead my team into success. Many people ask me, what do you mean by awakening the powerful leader within you? I have been leading myself and others for years. Well, I tell them, of course you have. But did you know that you have way more power than you can ever imagine? See, you and I, we were born with the capability to lead ourselves to live our purpose. Then life's challenges and obstacles come along and buries our capabilities. How do I know that? I know it because life happened to me.
My question to you today is this. What are you creating? Now, I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe he was thinking I'm gonna download something.